going on, everybody? Movie Phantom here, and of course I am joined by my lovely girlfriend Maya. And yes, it is Saturday, and we are doing this is also my favorite show right here. Aside from the Sunday Showdown, I do love doing the Sunday Showdown, but I love reviewing the movies. And here we are, Movie Fam's horror review. And this week got another kind of obscure double feature here. We got Cinco from 2010, I believe, Filipino horror film. And we got the extremely low budget Monster Man, so from 2003. So without any further ado, let's jump right into this, shall we? We'll go with Cinco first. Cinco, like I said, it is a Filipino horror film, and it's an anthology horror. It has 5 different parts to it, and each segment is based on a body part. It's named after a body part, and they kind of range from supernatural. I think actually they're all supernatural. So yeah, let's get into it. Sweetie, I'll let you start this one off first. What are your thoughts on Cinco?
It was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweetie, you knocked it out of the park again. Thank you very much for that very thought out, in-depth analysis of that film. So I knew nothing about this movie at all. Like a lot of these movies I'm reviewing lately, I've just been kind of jumping into them blindly. But I mean, I'm a big fan of Asian horror, so it kind of had that going for it right off the bat. So each story is based, like I say, it's named after a body part. So the first one is called Arm. Now, when the credits are first rolling, you see this guy giving himself a tattoo. He's doing an old school twist and tat. And sorry, sweetie. So he's giving himself, the old school prison tat. And anyways, you see that, the arm in question in the first story, it's his arm, and it's got that tat on it. Throughout, I didn't notice in all of them, but in 2 of them, I believe, they do a quick shot of the guy with the arm. So you see the guy was in every story, and then of course the last one, it's all him. The first segment is a fraternity, and
guys, those girls.
They basically it's part of trying to get into a fraternity. They're hazing them, and it's like the last night of initiation. I guess there's only 3 of them left. I guess apparently it's tough to get through them, but basically what they're doing is the whole thing is they got them dressed up in bra and panties, and they're gonna make them spend the night in
3 hours.
3 hours in a mortuary or the morgue, and so if you can last all 3 hours without running away, you're good. And of course, inside there, and I'm not going to give too much away on any of this because I don't want to spoil it, but there is an arm that's moving around, So, and before I get any further, I guess I should say, this is definitely, at least the first segment, is definitely more horror comedy. Like, it was just so ridiculous. But it was good. I enjoyed it. The second one's Feet, and that's definitely more horror. And basically what it deals with, without giving too much away, no spoilers, this little girl, you find out this little girl's dead. She was involved with an auto accident, and anyway, she lost her foot or whatever. Well, there's another woman who just shows up at her funeral, and she, paying her respects or whatever, but now she's being haunted by this little girl. Once again, I don't give away reasons or anything like that. The story does unfold. That's very conventional Asian horror, I felt. I felt like, if you've seen... Like, from the beginning, you should already know what's going on, like, as soon as you get into it. But I thought that was really good. I definitely dug that. It's very much, dead girl with long hair stalking the victim or whatever. So, yeah, I dug it. Thought it was good. Face was the next one, and that was pretty cool. And basically what it is because they all have a very, despite being Asian horror, they almost had a very EC comics or even Creep Show or Tales from the Crypt feel to them. Like, it just... Like that whole, they're all morality tales almost. Because in Face, this really bitchy cunt of a boss fires the guy as a photocopier / janitor. I'm not sure exactly how you get 2 jobs like that. But anyways, for fucking up a layout, so basically they end up getting rid of him or whatever. Well, as he goes outside, he's apparently run over by a vehicle. And anyway, the first thing she said, I don't want to see your face down here anymore. So the photocopier is now making copies of his face over and over, and then she's being haunted by him. Then you had I, and that was basically this woman and her boyfriend, jealous boyfriend or whatever, just kind of a douche in general, he ends up killing somebody. And, of course, she sees it, but she decides not to go to the police with it. But then as soon as she makes that decision not to do anything, is now when she's going to be haunted by,
repeating.
Yes, and she's kind of constantly stuck in a cycle of repeating this, this day over and over and over, or this night over and over and over. And then finally, you had Heart, in which it's a carnival, and this group works in a haunted house or whatever. And the woman is, unfortunately, she's very ugly. I mean, she's not really ugly, but she has all these moles. I mean, you can tell she's a very pretty lady underneath it all. But she has all these moles on her face. And she has, like, this big hairy mole right there on her chin. But she's in love with this big, hunky, jockey-looking guy.
Elvis.
Elvis is his name. Like, how can you not fall in love with someone named Elvis? And, of course, she wants, to be with him. Of course, he's already engaged, or he's dating this other girl. And then it turns out they, wind up being engaged. So, of course, it's the old story of, like, her friend, godmother, if you will, mixes up a potion for her, and it's a love potion. And, of course, you put one drop to...
He'll have a crush on you, too. He'll be in love with you. And the whole bottle, what's the whole bottle?
Oh, he won't stop until he has you.
Yeah.
And that's what was weird. Like you said, one drop, he has a crush on you. 2 drops, he's in love. The whole bottle... he won't stop until he has you. It's like, well, what would be like three drops? Or, I don't know, half the bottle. Well, what? But anyways, naturally, she just dumps the whole thing in there. Well, then what happens is, and it was just a random mugging inside of the haunted house, but he gets killed. But guess what? He's so in love with her, he's coming back for her. So yes, like I said, they're all kind of like slightly connected by the guy with the tattoo. So, I don't know, and once you get to the end, it kind of wraps back around, like you can just see where it all comes together. So, I dug it, I really did, I thought it was really good. Is it the greatest, Asian horror film? No, obviously not, but, I don't think I've ever seen a Filipino horror film. Maybe I have, like an old, like, 60s or 70s one. But, I'm digging what I'm seeing now. Like I say, in all honesty, it's wrong to go. I mean, you can't go wrong going Asian horror. Like I've yet to be burned by too many Asian horror films. So it keeps the tradition alive. I'm still digging it. I'd recommend it if you're a fan of anthology. In fact, I found it right here on YouTube actually. So just type in Cinco full movie. Yeah. Sorry, my hair is ridiculously long. It's caught behind here.
He needs to cut it, but he won't listen.
So, anyways, yes. So Cinco, thumbs up. All right, up next we got Monster Man. We're 2 friends, loosely friends, former friends, kind of reunited.
They're going to a wedding.
Oh my God! Anyways, he's on a road trip, and because he's going to try to go stop a wedding, he's going to try to tell the girl he loves, one he loves, that he loves her, and hopefully have her, fall back for him. And then, of course, along the way, they're being stalked by a killer in a monster truck. Sweetie. Go ahead. What do you think about this movie?
I liked it. Mm-hmm. But I knew there was like some fish about the girl that tried to get a hitchhike.
Okay, yeah, you can spoil it. It's 2003. Yeah, go ahead. Spoil all you want.
Yeah. Hitchhike. So freaking she like gets in the car with him and has sex with the skinny dude. Mm. Yeah. And then all that bunch of other stuff. Turned out that she was a witch. Mm. Yeah. And trying to find a perfect ribcage for her brother.
Yeah. You're all over the place on this one. You know, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, overall, though, you liked it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Once again, knew nothing about this at all. And once again, kind of surprised I came across it on YouTube. Also here on YouTube, to check it out. And so, right off the bat, I was kind of groaning because this is definitely all horror comedy right here. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some scenes of, I guess, blood and whatever, but for the most part, it's horror comedy. Like, it's done in a comical way. It has, I actually looked him up, his filmography, and I remember saying he was in a few other things, but the only thing I seen him in was, if you guys remember the comedy Not Another Teen Movie, he's Ricky. Here's Ricky! The obsessed best friend who, and, right off the bat, I recognized him. I was like, "Holy shit, that's Ricky!"
That goes.
Yeah, he does the slow clap at the end. He starts the slow clap, The other guys wanting to do the slow clap, and at the end of that movie, he's the one that kind of steals it from him and gets his ass kicked for it. So it's him. He's like this kind of loser nerd guy, and anyways, as he is on this road trip, his buddy tags along, and just the writing on this initially was just kind of grating. And I'm not gonna lie, it never stops being just horrible. Because you can tell, like, the guy who wrote it, Michael Davis, who went on to do Shoot 'Em Up, which really threw me up. I was like, holy shit, 'cause I haven't seen Shoot 'Em Up yet. Actually, I own Shoot 'Em Up, just haven't watched it yet. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's just weird, because like, that was like critically praised, and I mean, this one wasn't really slammed or anything, but personally, I just thought the writing was horrible on this one. You can tell this guy is a huge Kevin Smith fan, because you can just tell he was writing like Dante and Randall dialogue on this whole road trip, and but it wasn't good, Dante and Randall. It's like literally if you got some like high schooler who's a big Kevin Smith fan, but you can't really write, and he's like, here, do the Dante Randall road trip, and we'll add horror elements to it later. That's what the writing was like. It was just very not funny. However, as the movie goes on, it does kind of grow on you, because the situations do get kind of funny. Like, there's a whole scene where like their car breaks down and they're trying to look for, you're walking to get some gas, and of course they come across this old broken down Winnebago, and of course when they walk over to it, as they're bickering on the outside, you can see this dude has like his head like from here cut off, like his tongue sticking out and everything. And there's a lot of scenes like that, but there are just a lot of scenes that are just really far. I'm sure if a teenage Phantom watched this movie, this would be a totally different review. I'd be like, it was funny, and it's just a movie from my childhood, and I love it, and it's great. However, I watched it at age 29, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not nearly as funny as, they were probably hoping it'd be. So as they're on this road trip, they're constantly being, initially, being followed by a hearse, which reminded me of the hearse from, we mentioned it, Dead End. It's just a blacked out hearse. But then what happens is, at one of the pit stops, the Randall group, if you will, the slightly overweight, bum-looking friend who apparently just such a ladies' man. I don't know, it's ridiculous. Because he's constantly ragging on the other guy for being a virgin, but it's like, dude, how are you getting laid? Like, seriously, it's ridiculous. Anyways, they're in like a bar or a truck stop or something like that. And of course, he's just making fun of redneck truckers. They're watching like a monster truck thing. So then what happens is they start getting followed by this monster truck. Now, I will say this. I like that idea. Like, as soon as I see this monster truck start chasing them, I was like, holy shit, that's a pretty sweet gimmick right there. And then, like I said, we'll drop spoilers because it was 2013, so sorry if you dropped them, but, if you don't want to hear any more, turn it off. But they do pick up a girl, and from the beginning, you're like, something's fishy about her. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, initially I was like, yeah, clearly. But then I did kind of drop the guard toward the end. But then when it was revealed that she was turned on him, I was like, well, yeah, clearly. But what it is the guy who's in the monster truck, which Randall has dubbed Fuckface because he's all stitched up and shit. You find out that they're brother and sister, and then they actually have a third sibling, a brother, at the ranch or whatever. What it was is when Fuckface was driving around, he was just hauling in his monster truck, and then he fucking hits, or he runs over his brother, kills the brother. But of course, the sister is into black magic, voodoo, witchcraft, whatever, Satan worshipping, and she brings him back. But of course, she brings back like part of his body. So then what they have to do is Fuckface has to go out every night and kill somebody. Or no, not kill them, just take their limbs. So they're in a town full of amputees. And like nobody leaves the town, or no one gets the cops to investigate that there's an entire town full of amputees. Whatever. So as he's amputating these people, they're taking like the body parts. Now here's the weird thing. Is all you need is 2 legs and 2 arms, yet the whole town is full of amputees. So what they're doing with the spare arms and legs, maybe that's filling in different body parts. I don't know. Once again, the writing was not great on this movie. But anyways, so she hooks up with this young guy. Of course, I'm not going through all the steps, but apparently he fills all the requirements. Like, they had to willingly walk into a pentagram, which is the Winnebago. You've seen a pentagram from an aerial view that someone made out of tire tracks. And they willingly walked into it because they were trying to get gas from it. They were trying to siphon some gas from it.
But the fat guys in there for shit and pee.
Oh, yeah. he tried to siphon from the septic tank instead of the gas tank. Anyways, but then like I said, so there's a bunch of requirements that he fills, and luckily he's a virgin because that was one of the requirements, or he was. She bangs him. But barely, that's all that this dude needs, right? Like, this dude's alive. He's like dead alive. Because he's technically dead, but he's a talking corpse. And anyway, but he's missing like he's not even missing the torso, he's just missing the stomach pretty much. Like, his chest up's okay. But apparently they're going to, sacrifice, this main guy, Ricky from 913 movie, and use his torso, and it's going to magically take over or whatever. And you find out that's the motive. And so, it's just ridiculous, because like I said, it's played for, comedy. I want to use the word comedy loosely. I'm not saying this was a bad movie. This actually wasn't a bad watch. For all the horrible writing in there, the story wasn't too bad. I thought the concept was really good. In fact, I was even at their finished product, because actually, it's weird. It has like a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh. So I'm just like, wow. I mean, could there have been a sequel? I would have liked to have seen a sequel of, And they kind of leave it open for one, sort of, because they do kill the sister, the witch who's bringing these people back. But what happens is they run over Fuckface with the monster truck, or he does. But then he just keeps backing over it. Like a million times. Like, it transitions to daytime. He did it at nighttime, but it transitions to daytime. And finally his friend's like, hey, I think he got him. And sure enough, whenever they leave, it's just fucking like meat. Just fucking squished out flesh everywhere. But the mouth is still talking. So, and then of course at the end, mid-credits, there is a mid-credit scene where the other brother, which they thought they killed too, but he's just like, you can't kill me, I'm already dead. He's literally just sitting there and he's just still talking. So I mean, they left the character still alive, sort of. Which, I don't know, I thought that was kind of a cool new killer though, was, the guy because it's like Duel, but with a monster truck. And once again, the monster truck looks kind of cool. I mean, for a low budget movie, you can tell it all went into the monster truck. Or they just happen to have a friend with a monster truck and they're like, hey, we can film a movie based on this right here. But, no, overall, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It's not a high thumbs up. I'm not saying this is a great movie. But, at the same time, it was enjoyable and along the lines of, like, it could have been better. But at the same time, it wasn't just complete shit. So, I would recommend checking it out if it sounds interesting to you. Now, if you can already be like, this sounds like shit, then don't check it out. Because I'm not going to lie. I explained the best I could, but it's definitely a lot worse. Like I said, the writing's just atrocious. It really is. And the directing. Like, there's a lot of bad editing in this movie. Which is weird, because I always heard, like, the editing was really good in Shoot 'Em Up, but I guess he could use different editor or whatever. But anyway, I'm looking at this, I'm just like, there's a scene where, like, the car, or the monster truck rams into the car. Which, again, that's another weird thing. It's like, why didn't you just run it over? He rams into the car, but then it's a weird cut, and then it's like a delayed reaction. The guy's like, oh, I got hit, A lot of that, and now that bugs me a little bit, but, what can you do? So there you guys go. Cinco, Monster Man. I would say check them both out. Yeah. If you give thumbs up, so there we go. I'm the Movie Phantom. This is my girlfriend Maya, and we are